Basically, the A330, A340 aircraft family is equipped as follows. Type A doors at exits 1, 2, and 4. Type 1 doors at exits 3. In this configuration, the maximum number of passengers is 375, with a minimum of 8 cabin crew. As an option, Type A doors might be installed at exits 3. In this case, the maximum number of passengers depends on the type of aircraft. Various cabin systems are controlled, tested, and monitored by the Cabin Intercommunication Data System, CIDS. The CIDS is composed of 2 directors, one in active mode and one in hot standby. It is linked to the Forward Attendant Panel, FAP, for control and monitoring of the cabin functions. The active director communicates through decoder-encoder units, DEUs, with the cabin, passenger, and crew systems. The directors are also linked to some cockpit controls and indicating, and aircraft system functions. The Forward Attendant Panel, FAP, is located at the purser station. It is divided into 2 parts. The Programming and Indication Module, PIM, the Light Audio and Miscellaneous Module, LAMM. The PIM is used for system control, status indication, and programming operations. The LAMM controls the cabin lights, the boarding music, the emergency lights, the evacuation command system. The Cabin Assignment Module, CAM, located in the center of the FAP, contains the cabin software. Additional Attendant Panel, AAP, located at Station 2L and 4L, also enables certain cabin systems to be controlled. The Attendant Indication Panel, AIP, is part of the communication system. It is located near each main cabin crew station. Communication and system-related messages are displayed. The Area Call Panel, ACP, indicates crew communications, passenger calls, lavatory calls, lavatory smoke detection. The ACPs are installed in the cabin ceiling at each exit of the passenger compartment. All of the handsets are identical. They can be used for passenger announcements and for interphone calls. Let's now present the doors and exits. The aircraft is equipped with 6 passenger doors, located at the forward, mid, and aft sections, and with 2 emergency exits, located behind the trailing edge of the wing. As the operation of all doors is identical, we will only present the passenger door. All these doors are equipped with a control handle used for door operation. 3 assist handles enhance safety during door operation, 2 on the door frame and 1 on the door itself. 2 mechanical indicators indicate the door unlocked, locked status. An evacuation device is stowed in a container on the lower part of the door. A control lever is used to arm or disarm the device. The door support arm houses the emergency opening cylinder and the pressure gauge. A gust lock on top of the support arm must be pressed to unlock the door from the open position. Each door has an observation window equipped with a sunshield. Near the window, there are two electrical warning indicators. One indicator which illuminates white when the slide is armed and the door handle moved up. One indicator which flashes red in case of cabin pressurization when both engines are off and the door is disarmed. The lights are also visible from outside. Let's continue with the slide presentation. Each passenger door is equipped with either a dual-lane escape slide or a dual-lane slide raft. Each emergency exit is equipped with a single-lane escape slide. The inflation and deployment of the slide is automatically initiated when the cabin door is opened in the armed mode. Please select the video windows to see the dual-lane slide and slide raft description.
The slide has a double-lane sliding surface with braking strips at the bottom end which slow down the speed of the evacuees. A lighting system is fitted along both sides and at the bottom of the slide. The lights are automatically activated during the deployment sequence. They are supplied from the cabin emergency power supply units. A re-entry strap is fixed along one side of the slide. Some fail handles are located on both sides to assist in holding the uninflated slide when used as a handheld evacuation chute. A heaving ring allows assistance to evacuees in water. Assist handles in red color are fixed on the outside of the slide raft. Two boarding stations are located on both sides of the raft. Each station consists of a boarding step and assist handles. One radio beacon with two antennas is fitted on the outside of one inflation chamber. The radio beacon emits when one antenna is immersed in water. The base of the antenna blinks to indicate that the radio is active. The beacon can be activated manually by putting the red handle next to the antenna. One canopy support tube, which is too close to the cabin door, is bended and attached by Velcro. It has to be released to erect the tube in preparation for the canopy installation. A sea anchor is stowed between the inflation chambers at the top end of the raft. One locator light is fixed both sides on top of the inflation chamber. The light illuminates as soon as its battery is immersed in water. The survival kit, the hand pump and the canopy must be pulled inside the raft by means of the retrieval line. All this equipment is secured together to avoid them getting lost. The survival kit contains rescue and survival equipment. Hand pump fittings are clearly marked, and if a pump must be used, just connect one to the fittings and pump.
The oxygen system consists of a cockpit fixed oxygen system, a cabin fixed oxygen system, a portable oxygen system. This system supplies adequate breathing to the crew and passengers in case of depressurization, smoke, or toxic gas emission. In this part, we will concentrate on the cabin oxygen system. Chemical-generated oxygen units supply oxygen to the passengers and cabin crew. 3 or 4 mask units are installed in each passenger service unit. As an option, the aircraft can be equipped with a gaseous cabin oxygen system. A 2-mask unit is located at each cabin attendant station and in each galley and lavatory. The masks are provided with a flexible supply hose, a flow indicator, and a reservoir bag. They are attached to the generator by means of a pin, which automatically starts the generation of oxygen when it is pulled away from the cylinder. A door stop is used for the test procedure and prevents the masks from dropping. The number of masks contained in the unit is indicated on it. Protective breathing equipment, PBE, is located in the cockpit and cabin. This equipment consists of a smoke hood which is packed in a box and stowed close to the crew member stations. Portable oxygen bottles and masks are located in the cabin for first aid purposes. There are controls for the evacuation command signal in the cockpit and in the cabin. The cockpit control consists of an evacuation panel, which comprises an evacuation command push button to start the evacuation signal, a horn-off push button to silence the evacuation horn in the cockpit, a captain and purser switch to enable or disable the evacuation signal triggered from the cabin. Protective breathing equipment, PBE, is located in the cockpit and cabin. This equipment consists of a smoke hood which is packed in a box and stowed close to the crew member stations. Portable oxygen bottles and masks are located in the cabin for first aid purposes. The masks are provided with a flexible supply hose, a flow indicator, and a reservoir bag. They are attached to the generator by means of a pin, which automatically starts the generation of oxygen when it is pulled away from the cylinder. A door stop is used for the test procedure and prevents the masks from dropping. The number of masks contained in the unit is indicated on it. Protective breathing equipment, PBE, is located in the cockpit and cabin. This equipment consists of a smoke hood which is packed in a box and stowed close to the crew member stations. Portable oxygen bottles and masks are located in the cabin for first aid purposes. There are controls for the evacuation command signal in the cockpit and in the cabin. The cockpit control consists of an evacuation panel, which comprises an evacuation command push button to start the evacuation signal, a horn-off push button to silence the evacuation horn in the cockpit, a captain and purser switch to enable or disable the evacuation signal triggered from the cabin. In the cabin, the evacuation signal controls consist of an evacuation command push button on the FAP to start the evacuation signal, an evacuation reset on the FAP and on each AAP to silence the evacuation horn in the respective zones. In this module, the controls and indicating, the doors and exits, the slides, the emergency equipment, and the evacuation command system of the cabin have been presented. Let's now see how to use this equipment in the cabin system operation module. In this part, we will explain the operation of the different cabin components. We will start with the doors. The operation is the same for the doors and the exits. All doors and exits can be opened from outside. Information on how to open is labeled next to the handle. Before opening the door, make sure that the red pressure indicator is not flashing. Click on the video window to follow the cabin door operation from outside.
Labels next to the exterior control handle indicate how to open the door from the outside. Check through the observation window that the red cabin pressure indication does not flash. Push the flap and grasp the handle. Lift it fully up to the horizontal green line. Push the door outwards and forwards until it locks in the fully open position. For closing, push the gust lock to unlock the door, move the door towards the frame, push it in and lower the control handle. The door is locked when the handle is flush with the fuselage.
Before a normal opening, check that the arming lever is in the disarmed position and that the red indicator is not flashing. Click on the video window to see the cabin door operation from inside.
Normal opening. For normal door opening, the evacuation system must be disarmed. Hold the assist handle on the door frame and lift the control handle. Push the door outward. Then move the door forward using the door assist handle until it locks in its fully open position. Closing. For closing, push the gust lock and, with the door assist handle, move the door rearwards into its frame. Pull the door in and lower the control handle. The locking indicator turns from red to green, which indicates correct locking.
As soon as the aircraft leaves the gate, all doors and exits must be armed. Click on the video window to discover how to operate the arming lever.
Arming procedure. In order to arm the evacuation device, the safety pin must be removed and stored away. Then the arming control lever pushed forward into the armed position. If someone intends to open the door from the outside by moving up the exterior control handle, the slide arming control lever moves automatically to the disarmed position, which avoids accidental slide deployment. Disarming. To disarm the evacuation device, move the arming control lever. Install the safety pin to avoid inadvertent movement of the control lever.
To open the door in emergency mode, the arming lever must be in the armed configuration. Click on the video window to see the cabin door emergency opening.
Emergency opening. In case of an emergency opening of the door, check that the evacuation system is armed. Hold on to the frame assist handle. Lift the door control handle rapidly fully up and release. Protect the exit. The door opens automatically and locks in the open position.
The forward, mid, and aft doors can be equipped with a dual-lane escape slide or a slide raft. The slide deployment is initiated when the door is opened in emergency mode. Select the video window to see the slide deployment.
The Type A doors are equipped with double-lane slides. As soon as the cabin door is opened in the armed configuration, the slide and its package is released from the door, drops down, and inflates within 4 seconds. During the inflation sequence, the slide is kept folded until the pressure is sufficient to break the tie releases in order to allow the deployment way off the fuselage, especially in windy conditions. Should the automatic inflation not be initiated, the manual inflation handle must be pulled. This handle is located on the right-hand side of the girt extension. The slide package container, once released from the door, hangs down the side of the fuselage. One aspirator is connected to the pressure cylinder by means of a flexible hose. When the unit falls from the packboard, the regulator valve on the cylinder is actuated and primary gas is supplied to the aspirator. Outside air is drawn in at a multiple ratio to the primary gas mix. The Type A doors of the A340 are equipped with slide rafts. As soon as the cabin door is opened in the armed configuration, the slide raft and its package is released from the door, drops down and inflates within 4 seconds. During the inflation sequence, the slide is kept folded until the pressure is sufficient to break the tie releases in order to allow the deployment way off the fuselage, especially in windy conditions. Should the automatic inflation not be initiated, the manual inflation handle must be pulled. This handle is located on the right-hand side of the girt extension. The slide package container, once released from the door, is hanging down aside the fuselage. The canopy, the inflation pump, and the survival kit, which are attached to the slide raft by means of a retrieving line, can be seen hanging down near the fuselage. The slide raft has a double-lane sliding surface with at the bottom end braking strips which slow down the speed of the evacuees. A lighting system is fitted along both sides and at the bottom of the slide. The lights are automatically activated during the deployment sequence. They are supplied from the cabin emergency power supply units.
The exits, located behind the trailing edge of the wings, are equipped with a single-lane escape slide. When the exit is opened with the arming lever in the armed position, the slide deploys automatically. Select the video window to see the slide deployment.
The Type 1 door is equipped with a single-lane escape slide. The The operational sequence for the escape slide begins when the door is opened in armed configuration. The packboard assembly is released and falls clear of the door sill. The inflation is automatically initiated. The slide is retained from deploying until it is sufficiently pressurized. The deployment sequence lasts approximately 6 seconds. One aspirator is connected to the pressure cylinder by means of a flexible hose. When the unit falls from the packboard, the regulator valve on the cylinder is actuated and primary gas is supplied to the aspirator. Outside air is drawn in at a multiple ratio to the primary gas mix. If the escape slide does not immediately inflate, the red manual inflation handle, located on the right-hand side of the girt extension, must be pulled.
All slides and rafts can be disconnected from the aircraft to be used in case of ditching. The disconnection procedure is the same for all. Select the video window to see how to disconnect the slide from the aircraft.
Indications of how to release the slide raft from the cabin floor are printed on the girt extension. Lift the flap and pull the disconnect handle. The slide remains connected to the cabin floor by means of the ditching line. This line must be released by pulling the red loop, which is stowed in a pouch at the top end of the slide. A knife can also be used to cut the line.
We will now see the communication system between cabin and cockpit. The passenger address from the cockpit and the interphone function from the cockpit to the cabin are covered in the communication chapter. In this part, we will present the calls from the cabin to the cockpit. Let's start by a normal call. For a normal call, select the captain key on the handset. Call the cockpit. In the cockpit, a single buzzer sounds and the amber ATT lights illuminate on all the audio control panels. Reset the ATT light. No. Select the reset key. No. Select the reset key on the audio control panel. Please answer the call. The communication link is now established. You can speak using a push-to-talk push button. When the conversation is finished, the call is reset by pushing the reset key on the cabin handset or by replacing the handset. Let's now have a look at the emergency call. To make an emergency call from the cabin to the cockpit, the priority captain key on the handset must be pushed. Please do so. In the cockpit, the amber call light on the call panel and the amber ATT light on the audio control panel flash, together with 3 long buzzers. You must answer the call by pushing the transmission and reception keys on the audio control panel. Please do it. The communication link is now established. You can speak using a push-to-talk push button. This will automatically extinguish the flashing light on the call panel and the audio control panels. When the conversation is over, the call will be reset by pushing the reset key on the cabin handset or by replacing the handset. We will now continue with the oxygen system and the protective breathing equipment operation. Should the cabin pressure altitude exceed 14,000 feet, the barometric switch activates the automatic release mechanism of the cabin oxygen units. The masks drop down. On the cockpit oxygen panel, the Systems On light illuminates. When any mask is pulled, the lanyard attached to the mask extracts the pull pin from the generator, and the oxygen flow starts. Once activated, the oxygen flow cannot be stopped and will continue for at least 15 minutes, 22 minutes as an option.
The oxygen unit doors can be opened manually from the cockpit by pressing the mask manual on switch on the oxygen panel. In the cabin, the unit doors can be opened by using the manual release tool.
Pulling one mask to the face removes the pull pin and initiates the oxygen flow to all the masks connected to the same unit for approximately 15 minutes. Once activated, the oxygen flow cannot be stopped. Note that due to the chemical reaction for oxygen generation, the cylinder becomes very hot during the operation. The portable breathing equipment is primarily used for firefighting or when it is essential to work in a smoke-contaminated area of the cabin. Once activated, it will last for at least 20 minutes and cannot be turned off. Please watch the video of the portable breathing equipment utilization.
OxyCrew is easy to don as shown in the diagrams on the lid of the box. Open the box by pulling off the clamp at the top with your finger. Take hold of the silver foil package. To open the foil, tear off the strap. Pull out the OxyCrew and unfold it for donning. Slip your hands into the hood as shown here. Now don OxyCrew by gliding your hands and the hood together over your head. Direct the mask over glasses and place it upon mouth and nose. Pull the lanyard of the quick starter for immediate oxygen supply. The breathing bag is filled, accompanied by the sound of the starter. Now you are protected against smoke. Long hair should be pushed under the hood. If appropriate, adjust the mask at the speech transmitter.
To activate the evacuation command system from the cockpit, you have to push the command push button switch on the evacuation panel. Start the evacuation command system. In the cockpit, the on indicator comes on. The evacuation indicator flashes, and the specific horn is triggered. In the cabin, the evacuation indicators flash on the forward and additional attendant panels, and the specific horn sound. The horn shutoff push button in the cockpit and the reset push buttons on the forward and additional attendant panels shut off the horn in the corresponding area. This has been done for you. Switch the evacuation command system off. The evacuation command system is now switched off. Let's suppose that the purser has selected the evacuation command push button on the forward attendant panel. With the selector switch in the captain position, the evacuation alert system is only activated in the cockpit. The evacuation horn sounds for 3 seconds. The evacuation indicator flashes. Now the selector on the evacuation panel in the cockpit is in the captain and purser position. The purser is now able to initiate the evacuation command system in the entire aircraft. The purser has selected the evacuation command push button on the forward attendant panel. In the cockpit, the evacuation horn sounds and the evacuation indicator flashes. In the cabin, the evacuation horn sounds and the evacuation indicators flash on the forward and additional attendant panels. In this module, you have seen the operation of the doors, the exits and the associated slides, the cabin-to-cockpit call system, the oxygen and protective breathing equipment, and the evacuation alert system.